Commander Replay, we check out Ghired Conclave Exile and every extra combat spell. Is every extra combat spell good enough to take down an opposing Ghired Conclave Exile? Find out next on Commander Replay. I want to thank my awesome Patreon supporters. We have 2 new Patreon supporters in Michael Rezka and Mira Carpenter. You guys are awesome. If you want to help support the channel and vote on which decks I play next, feel free to check out my Patreon at the link below. Welcome back, everyone. Playing some Ghired Conclave Exile today. Pronunciation-wise, I'm going with Ghired. I don't know what other people are saying, but if anyone's got a good pronunciation on that, let me know. And with all that, our opponents lay down some lands. That'll bring it to our turn 1. We took our free mulligan and kept an opening hand that looks like this. We've got plenty of mana ramp in this hand, so I do like that. I think it's going to be this plateau on 1. Get the Mother of Ruins, so that way we can protect our commander once it comes in. And today we're playing every additional combat spell. There's about 15 of them, give or take, and we've got every single one in the deck, so I'm super excited about it. Should be a fun little build today. I was trying to figure out exactly how strong this deck would be, trying to describe to our opponents what kind of decks to bring. I feel like if it works, it could be pretty strong, but I think it's also really glassy. Like a single piece of removal could be pretty bad news for us, so I don't know. It's going to be like a weird glass cannon-y kind of deck, I think. There are a couple infinite combat step combos in the deck. We do have Neheb and Savage Ventmaw, and with certain cards, those will go infinite. So that's the thing. It wasn't really an intended consequence of the deck per se, but it just makes sense to have them. So it's a thing that could happen, and with that being the case, it does make the deck just a little bit stronger than it would have been otherwise. So yep, that's all a thing. Anyway, opponent lays down a Leonin Arbiter, so we can't search our library unless we pay 2, which is really, really strong. And we have a ton of fetch lands, a ton of ramp in our hand. That will slow us down pretty good. And a Cryptolith Rite coming down for our opponent. And they're also running Ghired Conclave Exile. Okay, yeah, this is all interesting. Let's get this forest into play and then get the Boros Signet. So let's take a look at what Ghired actually does. New card out of Commander 2019 is 2 red, white, green for a 2/5. When it enters the battlefield, create a 4/4 green rhino creature token with trample, and whenever it attacks, populate. The token enters the battlefield tapped and attacking. So like I said, we're doing Attack Step Tribal today, every single extra combat spell. I don't know if I've ever been this qualified to build a deck before, so I'm super excited about this one. Should be a lot of fun. And I included a few other little things in there as well that should also work really well with the additional combat steps. Things like Inferno Titan, Sun Titan, Dracuseth, and Itali all seem really good with extra combat steps. So got some fun little things going in there. And opponent playing the stacks game. Oh, it's a Gaddock Teeg. That explains it. All right. So Collector Oof coming into play. Activated abilities of artifacts can't be activated. That's going to shut off our Boros Signet. Opponent slowing us down pretty good. Pretty good. Would not be sad to see a Pyroclasm or some type of board wipe get rid of these things. It's actually Gaddock Teeg's also probably going to make it pretty difficult to cast our extra combat spells. There's a little bit of removal in this deck. It's probably running just a little bit less than it should be, so that's not amazing. That's going to bring it back to our turn. Another fetch land. Play a fetch land. We need to activate the Leonin Arbiter, so we're going to go ahead and do that. And then crack our fetch land. Let's get a Temple Garden tapped. And we'll continue to pass the turn like that. Eidolon of Rhetoric. Each player can't cast more than 1 spell each turn. Yup. Yep, let's do a little removal check. See how much removal's in our deck, because we need a board wipe. We've got a Blasphemous Act. We've got an Austere Command. We've got, importantly, we've got Dracuseth and Balefire Dragon, which are creature-based removal, which does not get hit by Gaddock Teeg. Those will be slow, though we do have Hammer of Perforos to speed that up just a little bit. Opponent going to do some attacking into the Prime Speaker Zegana. Ooh, Prime Speaker. Well, we should probably focus the Prime Speaker down. Prime Speaker is a pretty nasty deck. Simic, really, really strong. We've also got Inferno Titan, more creature-based removal. Again, things that will be helpful. So we've got about 3 sources of creature-based removal. We've got 2 board wipes, a little bit light. And then we've got Swords and Path. Not exactly where you want to be. I wasn't expecting to run into heavy stacks right here. So I guess that's a thing. The Eidolon of Rhetoric is actually going to be really good against Prime Speaker Zegana, because if they draw 10 cards like Prime Speaker Zegana always does, they'll only be able to cast 1 at a time, so there is that. Now, the thing you have to watch out for is that if they draw 10 cards, one of them is probably Cyclonic Rift, so that's all an issue. Here comes Tristani Discordant into play. Yep, and it's going to make some tokens. Give them lifelink. Opponent did lay down a Garruk Wildspeaker, by the way. Went for the minus mode and made themselves a beast. There's a Myriad Landscape for us. That one is very slow. Does it matter? I think we're still on the... I kind of wish I got a red land last turn for the Hammer of Purpose. Oops. So I think that means we're on Scalding Tarn, pay for the Arbiter, crack Scalding Tarn and get something with some red. Probably a Taiga is good right here, or another red-green land. Cinderglade seems good. And we'll just keep on passing. Oh, Damping Sphere. All the stacks. Wow. We do have a Vandal Blast in the deck, in addition to a Wear Tear and Return to Dust, plus the Austere Command. So we have a few ways to get rid of artifacts, enchantments. Again, not as much removal as I would normally like, but when you're running 15 extra combat spells, something's got to come out of the deck. And I did want to keep the amount of ramp in this deck very high, so yeah, we are removal light. Wayward Swordtooth coming in for the Prime Speaker Zegana opponent. Opponent's going to untap them some lands with the Wild Speaker. However, they cannot cast additional spells. However, they could at some point crack the Blighted Woodland, but they would need to pay for the cat first. Oh, looks like they already paid for it. Gonna crack the Windswept Heath. Yep. Oh, I suppose we could have, if we got an untapped land last turn, we could have cast Farseek. Whoops. Should have did that. Well, first game back from Vegas. Let the punts begin. Here comes Ghired into play. It's going to make a 4/4 green Rhino. So anyway, talking about what our opponents are playing, we've talked about it a little bit. First up is Gaddock Teeg being piloted by Tyrant of Ruin. It is white-green for a 2/2. Non-creature spells with mana cost 4 or greater can't be cast. Non-creature spells with X in their mana cost can't be cast. That one's going to hit us pretty hard. We have a lot of cards in our deck that are non-creatures 4 or greater. Namely all of our combat spells, so that is not amazing. Also protects itself from board wipes, which is kind of a headache as well. And they are doing the Hate Bear stacks thing, so not amazing, not amazing. But like I said, that does keep Simic players in check, does keep players who are very far ahead in check, so that's something to consider as well. So with that, that'll bring it back to our turn, and we draw into a Soul Ring. Soul Ring is decent. What are we going for right here? We can cast the Anointed Procession and get 2 Rhinos, which seems like a pretty good plan. Yeah, I think I like that. Still only cast 1 turn. Ooh, yeah. Soul Ring less good when you can only cast 1 spell a turn. So I think it's going to be Anointed Procession, then our Commander next turn. And we'll just sit on that Soul Ring for a little bit. Oh, also, Soul Ring cannot be activated because of the Collector. Oof, so glad we didn't lay that down there. Just out of force of habit, because usually when you have a Soul Ring, you want to play a Soul Ring. So we'll do that, and we will pass the turn. Here comes Kasali Pride Mage into play. Yep. Shoot the Anointed Procession. Cryptolith Right's also pretty good, although I suppose less good with Eidolon in play. Yep, going straight for the Anointed Procession. That makes me annoyed. Continuing on our opponents, we have Champion of Thune piloting Prime Speaker Zegana. I have sent some messages over to our opponents that while they're being stacked out, now is probably a good time to deal with them, because once Prime Speaker comes in and they draw a bunch of cards, things turn into a mess really quickly. Simic, just very, very strong. Prime Speaker Zegana, no exception. The deck draws cards and makes huge creatures like there's no tomorrow, so yup. Something we're going to need to deal with, and even though I want to get some retribution for our opponent blowing up our Anointed Procession, it's probably just not worth it in this moment. Comes an Arbor Elf, and that Arbor Elf going to be their 1 spell a turn. Opponent's going to make a 3/3 beast, sure. Swordtooth going to swing into the Gaddock Teeg opponent. And our last opponent, which we've also talked about a little bit, is Bright New Era 4103, a new Patreon supporter, piloting Ghired Conclave Exile also, and they seem to have a big token theme going on with things like Cryptolith Right and Tristani Discordant, so they seem to be more in on the token focus, where I went for the combat focus, and we have a couple things that care about tokens, but not a ton. Oh, that's a Desolation Twin. That's pretty good for your 1 spell a turn right there. Just lay down that Desolation Twin, get yourself some 10/10s. Opponent has not cast Gaddock Teeg, and it probably does not make sense for them to do so, because if anyone has a board wipe, then they won't be able to cast it with Gaddock Teeg on the field. I would not be sad to see our Blasphemous Act. However, we're also not the target, so, you know, pretty good chance that even if I found it, I'd probably wait on it for a turn. Opponent going to do some attacking with their Ghired, and they're going to populate 1 time, and they're going to populate on that Desolation Twin token. That seems like a pretty good population target. And that comes in tapped and attacking. Opponent going to block Ghired with the Eidolon. Figuring out what to do with the 11. Gonna throw the cat in front of it. Okay. That means we can fetch more freely. And we may consider doing that on our turn, although we probably need to get some creatures into play. Opponent soaks up all the damage. The Leonin Arbiter blocks the Desolation Twin token and can now search libraries much more easily. Opponent takes no damage. I forgot that Tristani's got a Homeward Path effect attached to it. There's an Aurelia. Aurelia's pretty cool. Can still only cast one spell a turn, so I think that's going to be our commander right here. So our commander comes in, we've got ourselves a 4-4, and I think that's going to be about it for the turn. Unless something should happen to the oof right here. Unless something should happen to either one of these two hate bears right here, we're probably not going to be on Aurelia. Unless, of course, we draw a plains off the top. Damping Sphere is a really good stacks piece, and it's one that I haven't been running enough. I need to run this thing more. Against unfair decks, this card is so good. It shuts off Gaia's Cradle. It shuts off Cabal Coffers. Also shuts down people that are trying to play like 3 or 4 spells a turn and try to do really crazy value-y things. It just shuts off so much nonsense. Such a good card. Opponent's going to lay down an Aven Mind Sensor. Plays it during their own turn. Somehow they cast Giver Rune. Each player can't cast more than one spell each turn. That's weird. I don't understand what just happened. Somehow they cast Giver of Runes and Aven Mind Sensor all on the same turn. Oh. No, Aven Mind Sensor came in on opponent's upkeep. That's why. Okay. That makes more sense. I get what's going on now. They should have waited on the Mind Sensor until someone tries to, like, crack something. Here comes Prime Speaker Zegana. Yep. It comes in as a 6/6, and opponent's going to draw 6 cards. Yep. They go up to 10 cards, gain themselves some life. Simic card draw. So good. So good. It's got Flash, Flying, Trample. Whenever you draw a card, you gain a life. Yeah, it's pretty good. Let's see if the Eldrazi want to start focusing their way in a second. Wayward Swordtooth going into the Gaddock Teeg opponent. Tyrant says, it's okay. I'll tank for you. It's alright. I'll be the AD carry. Ooh, opponent discards a Vigor. Reshuffles. The Vigor reshuffles into their graveyard. Here comes Elspeth, Sun's Champion. Sure. Spit out more tokens? There's not much at 4 power really worth blowing up that they don't control, so. Opponent can spread the Desolation Twin tokens around. And Ghired will trigger. Gets themselves another Eldrazi token. And I think one's going at the Planeswalker now. What are we doing? I think we are just... we can... Oh, nope, it's colorless. The Eldrazi tokens are colorless, which means that Mother of Runes is not going to help us out here. So, I think we're just taking the 11. No blocks. Ooh, the other thing we could do, too, we could get Tristani into play. Yeah, the lifelink seems like it might be pretty good. We're going to block with some stuff. Eidolon of Rhetoric's going to block Ghired, so it will survive. Even Mind Sensor going to block an Eldrazi token. I'm going to throw a bunch of things in front of an Eldrazi token to block it and kill one. Oh, they've got the Regenerate ability. Regenerate on a Beast token. Yep, assumingly so they can get more card draw with the Prime Speaker Zegana. Elspeth going to make some tokens. Yep. And Tristani Discordant will do the Homeward Path thing. That'll bring it back to our turn. We draw, a Sylvan Library. That is helpful. Eidolon still in play. Aven Mind Sensor is down, so we can potentially fetch if we need to. Soul Ring does not help us still. I'm going to go for Tristani right here. No one seems to be playing any board wipes, so that's all a thing. We're just going to send this over to the Gaddock Teeg. We are not in a position to attack anyone else currently, and they can just block. Where are we going to send the token? Guess we send it this way. I guess we send it to the other opponent. Mostly I'm just doing this to get the life gain. The token does put us back to 31 with the Tristani, so I do like that. And opponent going to block to soak up the damage. Yep. Opponent's going to block with their bigger Rhino, which is not great for us. So we will lose that Rhino, but we do gain some life. And we'll pass the turn like that. Would so love to see a board wipe. Oh, here comes Gaddock Teeg. Guess what's not happening? Board wipes. The problem now is that board wipes are off the table as long as Gaddock Teeg is down. Cyclonic Rift could probably be overloaded, which is a thing. But I'm still not entirely sure what to do against this large army of Eldrazi tokens and other mounting tokens. Prime Speaker going to swing our way. That's not amazing. I guess we block with Tristani and use Mother of Runes. Would prefer to save it for something else, but save it from blue. Don't really want to take that damage, so... Blighted Woodlands. Opponent's going to crack their Blighted Woodlands. Yep, get themselves some more lands. Oh, they're going to play a Galta. Galta can go toe-to-toe with some of those Eldrazi tokens. Problem now is that there's not really safe attacks for us anywhere. Opponent did have me scratching their head why they cracked their Blighted Woodlands first, and the Galta play makes sense. Figured they'd probably want to go for the biggest thing they have. It just so happens it turns out the biggest thing they have has a ton of cost reduction on it, so there's that. Wonder if that gets them focused by the other Ghired opponent right here. Elspeth gonna make some more tokens. Yep. Elemental Bond coming into play. I don't usually care for Elemental Bond that much as a card, but it looks really good in this deck. Since you can repeatedly make tokens, and you should be able to draw a ton of cards with it, so to me it looks really good. Opponent gonna do some attacking. Ghired our way, probably just because safe attacks. Gonna get themselves a Ghired trigger. Elemental Bond will trigger, yep. Opponent's gonna Croson Grip the Elemental Bond, okay. There are 2 Desolation Twin tokens coming our way, that's not amazing. We are probably just gonna take that hit. It's not great. It is not great. Ooh, opponent's going to block with the Collector. Oof, that means we can... And they're going to block with the Eidolon. Oh, nope. Oh, they got me so excited. I'll block with Gaddock Teeg and the Eidolon. Nope. Still have... Rhetoric is going to go down, which means we can actually cast a couple spells right here, but so can everyone else, and that seems scary. Oh, we go to 6. Ouch. And a Signet for our opponent. Yep. I mean, it has to be Blasphemous Act. And a Cultivate. Yep. And Tristani's trigger. Lightning Runner is exactly probably not the thing that we need. I'm going to go for value right here and get Farseek. Let's get Taiga and Sylvan Library. I mean, we're basically at the mercy of everyone else at this point, so... Oh, right, Sylvan Library now costs 1 extra, so I guess we're paying 3. Does attacking anywhere help? Probably not. Probably not. Yeah, I think we're just staying put. Unless, we could attack and protect ourselves from, like... No, I think everyone... Yeah, we can't really pick a fight with anyone at the moment. So, yeah, I'm just going to hope someone else has the board wipe. Ooh, opponent's going to Song of the Dryads on Ghired. Okay, that should take some focus off of us. That's a play. Problem is there's so many 2/2s out now. We're at 6 life. We could just die to 2/2s. Here comes a Cultivate for the Prime Speaker Zegana. Yep. Kodama's Reach for our opponent. Yep. Sylvan Library for the Prime Speaker opponent. Surprisingly, with all the cards they drew, there's not that much going on. Just a lot of ramp and card draw right there, but I guess that's what Simic decks do. Question is now, how do we survive? And I have no idea. Opponent's going to make 3 more Elspeth tokens. Yep. Opponent has 4 Eldrazi Desolation Twins. That's not amazing. There's a Smothering Tithe. Going to be really good with 2 Sylvan Libraries on the field. Opponent down to 1 card, though. Opponent going to attack with the 3 Desolation Twin tokens. Doesn't have Trample. We got to throw something in front of it. So if we block with the Rhino, we can't populate? I guess Mother of Ruins seems to be doing the least of anything in here. Mother of Ruins is so good, though. Tristani? We need the life gain. I think it's Mother of Ruins. Giver of Runes apparently hits colorless, which seems really relevant in this moment. Is opponent going to protect the Oof right here? Oof finally goes down. That thing has been hosing us so badly. Okay. I guess that would have stopped the Smothering Tithe from running wild, though, but opponent will get 1,000,000 tokens now. See what kind of lands they have. Doesn't look like anything too scary in terms of lands currently. Opponent has 1 Desolation Twin to block with. We draw a land. Smothering Tithe will trigger. We are gonna need some stuff. No, not paying for the Tithe. We got 2 lands and a Response Resurgent. We do not have 2 or more basics, so we're gonna put Canopy Vista back on top. Are we drawing 4? How bad do we need an extra combat spell? In this moment, probably not that badly. However, a protection spell seems reasonable. We can shoot something for 5, which could be relevant against a token or something random attacking into us. But paying 4 life right here seems not amazing. We'll be able to get some life back if we go Aurelia and get some tokens. I guess we're paying for it. Pay 4, go to 2. Ugh. Not paying for Smothering Tithe. Oh, right. Napping Sphere still in play. We'll need to be careful of that. Play the Wooded Foothills. Means Aurelia would cost 7. Okay, we should be good. We should be good. Get the Soul Ring. Cast Aurelia. Aurelia into play. Gain 4 life. Go back to 6. Opponent has nothing in the air, so we're going to attack at... Probably going to attack Elspeth, actually. Yeah, attack Elspeth. Ghired into the Gaddock Teeg opponent. Aurelia trigger on the bottom. Ghired trigger on top. We need that token to survive and untap, so that's also going to have to go to Gaddock Teeg. We did not keep our lands untapped in a way that we could use Response Resurgence, which is unfortunate. Probably about the 6th or 7th mistake that I've made this game. All like small little sequencing mistakes that are really adding up in a big way. Been pretty bad. And same attacks again because we need tokens that can survive. So we've climbed our way back up to 14 life. If we can manage to survive one more turn, start firing. If we can get Lightning Runner, actually we probably won't have the mana to do it, but if we had Lightning Runner and Response Resurgence, we could potentially do a lot with that. Smothering Tithe, trigger, yep. Oh, that's a Ghostly Prison. Oh, that's so good against this board. So good. Sylvan Library, Smothering Tithe, and Horizon Chimera, trigger. There's an overloaded Cyclonic Rift, so we're not dead just yet. Whew. Opponent's gonna Worldly Tutor. Sylvan Caryatid coming into play. Opponent's sending everything over to Bright New Era. Gonna get them pretty good right here. Looks like about 26, they go down to 22. Now they're on the back foot as well, and Prime Speaker Zegana sitting on the throne. Here comes a Fathom Mage. Yep. I'm sad that we didn't get another shot out of this Sylvan Library. Ooh, that's a Wrath of God. Nice. Oh, that works out so beautifully. Oh, that's so good. Things are starting to shape up for us a little bit now, or at least give us a chance, which is a whole lot more than we had going on before. Here comes the Tristani back to play. Yep. We draw the Canopy Vista, crack the Wooded Foothills. We get a mountain. We have a lot of red in our hand. Play the Canopy Vista. Let's go Soul Ring, Signet, Tristani. We have 8 mana total, so we can go Tristani and maybe crack Myriad Landscape is the plan. Tristani back to play. Or Myriad Landscape or Sylvan Library. I'm going to say Sylvan Library. Sylvan Library is so good. Myriad Landscape for only a single extra land at this point is like fine, but doesn't blow me away. Oh, this game finally shaping up. Hopefully we can wiggle our way out of all the early mistakes that we made in this game. I'll feel really good about that. Opponent's going to lay down that Song of the Dryads once again on the Tristani. Tristani becomes a land. And here comes a Mentor of the Meek, sure. Here comes a Master Biomancer. Each creature you control enters the battlefield with a number of +1/+1 counters on it equal to Master Biomancer's power. And as a mutant, in addition to his other types, there's a Chasm Skulker. It's pretty good. With 2 counters on it. Ooh, that's a Selvala Heart of the Wilds comes in with 2 counters on it. Gonna make it difficult to get that draw trigger. Although it'll probably go to the Ghired when they play the Desolation Twin. Ranger's Path for our opponent. Ooh, just trying to get some ramp. Alright, alright. Here comes Elspeth back to play. Selvala the only creature above 4 power, so it probably just makes sense to make tokens right here. Yep, gonna make themselves some tokens. That's a Fury of the Horde. You may exile 2 red cards from your hand rather than pay this spell's mana cost. That's a thing that I may consider. This Lightning Runner seems like it's really going to take a lot of work to get going. Use the Sylvan Library ability. We draw a Fervor and a Marsh Flats. I think we pay an 8 life? No, we can't pay 8. We should not pay 8 life. That is not a thing that we should do. Put the Fervor back on top. Yeah, put the Fervor back on top. We'll pay 4 life and keep the other one. Play land. Alright, so we've got 12 mana now. I think the plan right here is just going to be, yeah, I think it's going to be Hammer, Ghired, and do we finally crack the do we finally crack the Myriad Landscape after that? We'll figure it out in a moment. Tristani will gain us some life back. And actually what I'm going to do is we'll attack into the Elspeth. Actually, we could kill the Selvala, which actually seems like a pretty good idea. So there's a white, there's a red. Yeah, we might use the Response Resurgence to okay, I like that plan. Try and blow up the Selvala. So we'll get to populate, and we'll put the token tapped and attacking into the Selvala. It's got trample, so they'd have to throw a lot of tokens in front of it. We go back up to 22. Suit opponent does blockwise. Gonna throw the Chasm Skulker in front. Okay. Yeah, that's fine. We don't even need to use anything right there. Down with that. Opponent gonna block with 4 tokens and trade with the Rhino. Also fine with that. So we'll take down all the tokens, trade right there. Then we'll pass with our mana up, and then either Response Resurgence as necessary, crack this Myriad Landscape as necessary, or populate as necessary. And we're back to 22 life. Not looking terrible after taking, what, like 3 Desolation Twin hits? Here's a Cultivate for our opponent. Yep. They have been behind. They got the early Hate Bears down, but they really didn't ramp or draw cards very well, and now they are very, very far behind, although Cultivate is one that can catch up in a hurry, make hit in both of those lands. If they untap next turn, they'll be in pretty good shape. And they're going to lay down this Ghostly Prison, which should go a pretty long way in helping them to untap. So We'll see what happens. Now, I know we have a red card on top of our deck, which I'd prefer to not have to hardcast this Fury of the Horde. Oh, opponent's going to blow up our hammer. Sad face. Return to nature. So the Rhino tokens won't be able to attack every single time. Although I guess if we don't need to use our Response Resurgence, then there's a chance that maybe we can just feed that into the Fury of the Horde. Chasm Skulker are going to get some counters on it. Yep. Doubling season for our opponent. Oh, boy. Recast Zegana. Yep, here comes the Prime Speaker. They are going to... Ooh, it's a 17-17. That is very large. So we definitely need to take them out. Hopefully we have enough air combats to make that happen. Chasm Skulker is going to get a bajillion counters on it. Ooh, we may have to throw a Rhino token in front. Well, I guess it's going to depend on where they want to send all this stuff. It's a 40-40. No big deal. Good old Simic decks. Let's find out where the 40-40's going. Probably us. Selvala into the Elspeth. Ooh, the 40-40 into the Ghired. They can just throw the token in front. Does mean that they're probably going to lose Elspeth, though. Well, Elspeth will go to 1. They block, and Elspeth drops to 1 loyalty. Because of the Fervor on top, I don't want to crack any of these fetches. I kind of want to draw that Fervor. Although, yeah, I think I want to draw the Fervor. Opponent's going to make 3 tokens with Elspeth. Yep. That's a Panharmonicon. That seems like a pretty good one. Can they get the Desolation Twin in? Here comes their commander. Oh, they're going to get 2 tokens. Yep. Seems pretty good. We're going to populate with Tristani. Get ourselves another Rhino token, gain some more life. There's a Fervor. Let's see what else. Hopefully we hit more red cards. That's what I'm looking for right here. That's a Waves of Aggression. Yeah, we're keeping everything. There's a land. Oh, if we keep the land in hand, which combat spell do we use? That's the question. So Fury of the Horde, we get Exile. Probably Lightning Runner. It's probably the worst of the bunch. Because it doesn't guarantee us extra combats. So Fury of the Horde, exiling Lightning Runner, and probably Response Resurgence. Although the Vigilance is pretty cool. The Vigilance is pretty cool. Is there any world that we need to retrace Waves of Aggression this turn? I don't think so, because let's do a little check on mana. We've got 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. It's 12 mana. The one in our hand will be 13. 13 would get us 6 for Aurelia, 5 for Waves of Aggression, and then we can exile 2 cards for Fury of the Horde. That leaves us 1 mana short of getting Fervor into play, though. That does make me sad. That does make me sad. Double check everything. Our opponents are tapped out, so I think we have to go for it right here. Let's start with Aurelia. I guess the other question is, if we use Aurelia and Fury of the Horde and just get Fervor, is that better than trying to get an additional combat? I'm not sure. That means we can attack with the tokens that are already existing. Although I think we're going to be losing tokens along the way as we do this, though. I mean, I guess attacking with Aurelia like 4 times just seems good, but here we go. Cast Resurgence. Give our creatures first strike, vigilance, and an additional combat. Oh, let's do some attacking. Ghired, there. Tristani both into the Gaddock Teeg. Aurelia into the Champion of Thune. Both Rhinos into Champion of Thune. Oh, Ghostly Prison. Ghostly Prison is a card. Okay, that's not going to work. Guess we're going the other way. Well, this isn't going to work the way I had hoped at all. Ghostly Prison. Aurelia will trigger. Aurelia trigger on the bottom. Ghired trigger on top. Into play. Attacking Champion of Thune. Oh, we have to create a token. Create a token. Copy. Attacking Champion of Thune. Selvala triggers. Tristani triggers. Aurelia triggers. Opponent's going to block a token. Yep. Opponent will block the other token. The one without first strike. Okay. Opponent's gonna block in a way that does not kill either of our Tristani or our Ghired. That is good news. That is good news. We could pay for a Ghostly Prison one time. We need to get this land into play, though, and I think it's going to be a minute before we can do that. Back to combat. Combat number 2. More or less the same thing again. Ghired Conclave Exile going to trigger. Create a copy of the Rhino, tapped and attacking. I think Tristani's going down right here. Yep, Tristani goes down, so our life gain's going to come to an end. We get a main phase, so we can play the Bloodstained Mire. Oh, did we time the Response Resurgence wrong? We may have. We may have. Crack the Marsh Flats. Get a Savannah. Crack the Bloodstained Mire. Just get a mountain. Let's cast Fury of the Horde by exiling some other stuff. Let's get rid of Lightning Runner and Fervor. Combat number 3. That's only got 8 damage on it. Sending another token there probably doesn't seem like it makes a ton of sense. Gonna pay 2 into the Ghostly Prison. I think we're gonna attack we'll attack the player, leave Elspeth where it is, I guess. One goes down to 11, and combat number 4 incoming. Keep sending Aurelia. I don't actually know if it makes sense to attack with Ghired anywhere, because we're probably going to lose it. That's got 4 damage on it. Well, they won't block with that. That's got 2 damage on it, so we could kill it. What about that one? That one's got 2 damage on it, so we could kill it. It's got 4 damage on it. They could double block and kill our commander. It's not amazing. Yeah, I think we're staying put with our commander right here. I think it's just going to be Aurelia on this one. Opponent goes down to 8. And we passed the turn like that. So 4 combats this turn. Oh, yeah. I'm sure I could have played that better. I kind of wish I cracked the Myriad Landscape the turn before. Although if we did that, then we shuffle away the Fervor. I really kind of wanted that Fervor. Here's a Core Haven for our opponent. That's actually really helpful in combination with Ghostly Prison. Here comes Gaddock Teeg back to play. Ooh, that shuts off all of our extra combats. That's not amazing. Means we have to probably kill them first if no one else does. Opponent plays Gaddock Teeg, draws a card, and back to Prime Speaker Zegana's turn. They've got 8 cards in hand. Can't cast any big stuff, though. It's going to have to be mostly creatures. Chasm Skulker with a million counters on it. And that's a Reliquary Tower, so they won't have to discard. And they can generate, what, 45 mana? Yeah, that's bad. This is bad. They can cast every card in their hand. Here comes Simic Ascendancy. If opponent takes an extra turn, we're in real trouble. We'll end the game, in fact. Opponent's got 40 mana remaining. Yep. Here comes a Solemn Simulacrum. Comes, oh, that's Soul of the Harvest. That is bad. They have 4 cards in hand. They can probably play most of their deck now. Here comes an Uvenwald Hydra. Yep. We really need opponent to whiff on the draws, otherwise we're in some serious trouble. There's a Reclamation Sage. Let's see what this goes after. Ghostly Prison, maybe? Yep, Rec Sage on the Ghostly Prison. Ghostly Prison down. That gives us safe attacks if we need it, which we probably will. Opponent says they can't win through Teeg. Nice. Nice, nice, nice. Probably some big bounce spell or something like that. Overrun, who knows. Opponent gonna pour some counters into Simic Ascendancy. Yep. So we certainly can't let them untap. Opponent's got a 50-50. Where do they want to send it? Sending both to the Gaddock Teeg opponent. Gaddock Teeg can activate Core Haven on the Chasm Skulker. Gonna throw the Mentor of the Meek in front. Ooh, nice. Core Haven does not untap the creature. That's actually pretty big. Opponent has 4 blockers up right now, and we've got 3 rhinos, so if we can make an extra rhino or 2, I think we're going to be in pretty good shape. One thing that could be a problem, Cyclonic Rift is gone, but I don't know, some sort of like other mass bounce spell in blue could be a problem. Teeg is going to stop all of them as far as I'm aware, so that's something to keep in mind. Opponent going to keep plussing with the Elspeth. Iroas would be super, super sweet off the top. That is the one we need right here. I'm thinking this deck needs a Victory's Herald, just to give all of our stuff flying, make sure that we can attack indiscriminately. A Bastion Protector might not be out of the question either. Get that indestructible and the pumped up power. Here comes the Desolation Twin. It's going to have a Panharmonicon trigger. Oh, that's a cast. Never mind. Desolation Twin is a cast trigger, so it does not trigger the Panharmonicon. It's going to bring it... Oh, that's Austere Command. Well, we can't use it. Use the Sylvan Library, see what we're looking at. Whisper Silk Cloak is a card. Yeah, now we're talking. Pay 4 life for that. Pay 4 life for that. Keep the land. The land might stay in hand. Play Whisper Silk Cloak. Whisper Silk on Ghired. Also means Key to the City is probably a good idea in this deck too. Where are we attacking? We could kill the Simic opponent and then try to just kill... then try blowing up all the creatures is the thing that we could do. Do these 4/4s matter against this army right here? Don't think they do, quite honestly. Okay, so I think we're taking down both opponents. Yeah, we'll take down Gaddock Teeg and the blue player, and then wipe the board against the other Ghired opponent, get ourselves into a 1v1. With the Sylvan Library, I think we can come out the winner of that. So let's go to combat. Swing like that, three rhinos into Gaddock Teeg, and Ghired and Aurelia into the Prime Speaker Zegana opponent. Where do we put the Ghired token? That's the question. If I don't want to kill... Oops, did the triggers wrong. That's the thing that happened. Don't want to kill the Gaddock Teeg before we kill the Simic opponent. That could be really bad news for us. I guess we'll put the token in, again, attacking the Elspeth. Opponent will probably just block it. Actually, probably doesn't matter that much anyway, since everything's probably going to get blued up. Opponent's blocking with the Gaddock Teeg. Uh-oh. This is where things could go wrong. Oh, maybe we should just put the Whisper Silk on a rhino. Oh, Uvenwald's got reach. I forgot about the reach. Aurelia's going to go down. All right, well, I guess we're just going to have to blow up all the creatures then. I guess we can't blow up smoke. Okay, Gaddock Teeg goes down, survives at 4.
Champion of Thune survives at 6. We go to another combat. Do we kill the Gaddock Teeg right here? That is the question. Ooh, opponent lets their Elspeth go, finally. Alright, where are we putting this token in attacking? Do we take down the Gaddock Teeg? I don't know. I think we have to go big creatures and enchantments, probably. Let's just kill Gaddock Teeg. Let's take him out. Gaddock Teeg goes down. We are faced with some choices. Opponent's got 4 blockers. We can put Whisper Silk Cloak on a token and then attack, then play Waves of Aggression. Problem is all this stuff over here. I'm going to try to go greedy and then go for a full board wipe after. Oh, there's a Rogue's Passage out there. Yeah, that's a real big problem. Okay, yeah, so opponent, we definitely can't let opponent survive. I'm going to try this greedier plan. I'm not going to go straight for the Austere Command. We'll just see how that goes. Put it on this Rhino. Play Waves of Aggression. Send in the Rhino. Hopefully this does it. Hopefully no Ether Spouts or something like that. Ether Eyes. Down they go. Since our plan is probably board wipe next turn, I'm going to play this land right here. Any land? Gavany Township is a real card. Potentially one worth shooting right there. So 2 players down. Opponent said Bear Umbra was the card that Gaddock Teeg locked out. Yeah, that's a pretty good one. It's a pretty good one. Opponent's going to do some attacking. Hopefully they don't have extra combats of their own. That's not something that I had considered. If they do, we're in real trouble. Opponent's going to populate. Yep. Another Eldrazi token. Blocking Eldrazi. Blocking Eldrazi. Blocking Eldrazi. Hope we survive the rest? I think we will. It's going to hurt pretty bad, though. We did not. We did not survive. Down we go. Oops. Yep. Should have went for the... Maybe we should have went for the Austere Command. All right, then. All right, then. I played terribly that match, so that's the thing that happened. Yeah. We'll probably need to take this deck out again. Hopefully not against stacks. The stacks got us so hard. And yeah, it's true I could have played around it better, but I don't play against like the Hate Bear style of stacks that much, so just not that used to it. Probably also need to run a more responsible amount of removal in this deck, which I am not. So yeah, maybe we could drop like a ramp spell, try to get like a little bit more removal in here. Really kind of wanted a Victory's Herald. That flying would be super, super good. Maybe we'll get a Desolation Twin of our own. Maybe Rampaging Baloths, probably pretty good. And I guess Dolmen's Gate is probably also going to be where we want to be so that we can attack relentlessly with our commander. Do need to take something out. We have way too many 6-drops. I guess cut Miri's Guile. Maybe we can live without Victory's Herald. Victory's Herald is very slow. Dolmen's Gate should get the same job done. Anyway, yeah, so I played super, super sloppy through the stacks and did not play the way I wanted to right there. Made just a number of sequencing mistakes. So I probably need to run this deck out there again. We'll see what happens, but hope you guys enjoyed this video. As always, feel free to comment, like, or subscribe. Thank you for watching.